Hello and welcome to Module 4 of the Niche Cash Machine Blueprint. I'm so excited to see you on Module 4. You're doing great so far. This module is called Niche Discovery, and it's all about how to find the perfect niche, how to find profitable niches. It's very important. This module is actually very important because we're going to build an entire business on the niche. So the niche is the foundation of an entire business. So if you don't get that right, you could put in a lot of work into a niche that isn't even profitable. So definitely we want to do our research here. It's really not that difficult. I'm going to show you everything here in this module. So definitely we're going to do a little bit of research now. It's also fun because you're going to build an entire business on a subject that you hopefully enjoy, and you're going to be able to do what you love every single day, just like I do. So let's dive into this module. It's probably going to be a short one, so let's go. Now, what exactly is a niche? You probably already know the answer, but I wanted to give you the exact definition. A niche is a special section of a market to which the marketing effort for goods or services may be specifically directed. So basically what that is a niche is a very, very targeted portion of a market. And I'm going to show you what exactly I mean by that next. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually break down a niche from very broad into smaller sub-niches. And for this example, we're going to use the pet and dog niche. So what we do is we start out with a very, very broad niche, which is the pet niche. And we're going to break that down into different pets. We got fish, cat, bird, and dog. Now these are still very, very broad niches. You don't really want to target these kind of niches, these broad niches, because they're just it's too wide open. So for this example, what we're going to do is we're going to work within the dog niche, and we're going to break that down even more. So now that we have the dog niche, we're going to break that down into dog breeding, dog training, dog health, and dog supplies, all of which are very profitable niches. They get a lot of views per month. And what we're going to do for each one of these sub niches is we're going to even break them down even more. So dog breeding, we're going to break that down into each individual breed. So you would have how to breed German Shepherds, how to breed Greyhounds, how to breed Poodles, how to breed Rottweilers. And we're going to do the same thing for dog training, dog health, and dog supplies. So as you can see that it's very, very specific, and this is where you want to start building your business, because the very, very broad niches are just too big to enter, and they're gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And so we're gonna start from the smaller sub niches and build our way up, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. So even like dog training, that's a very, very big market, even though it's a sub niche of the pet market. And now that we have broken down like this, what we can do is we can actually build and bolt on niche cash machines to each one of these sub markets, and all of them will be working together. I hope that makes sense to you. Now it may be a little overwhelming. We're not going to do that. We're going to actually pick one, build a business in there, get it profitable, and then we could scale, like in our the niche cash machine overview process that I showed you in Module 3. So here's just a few things to think about when picking your niche. You want to definitely pick a niche that you enjoy, or you want to pick a niche that you yourself would like to learn more about. The thing here is that we want to make this fun. We want to make this enjoyable, because when it's fun and enjoyable, it's just an easier business to run. If you definitely don't like the niche that you're in, you're not going to have the drive to create content and just deal with it every day. And that's really why we even got into our internet business in the first place, because we're trying to build a better lifestyle for ourselves. So definitely choose niches that you enjoy and that you would like to learn more about. Make sure you do your research, because the last thing we want to do is put a bunch of work into a niche that's not even going to be profitable. So it's good, because that's what this module is all about. I'm going to give you some resources. I'm going to give you some tools to effectively do that. This is my number one. Pick a niche that has a passionate community that surrounds it. Now, the pigeon racing niche is a perfect example of this, because at first, when I was looking at that niche, it had every red flag of a bad niche to enter. There were no products in it. It had low search volume. It just was not a good niche if you looked at all the facts. However, what I did notice was that it did have a small but passionate community that surrounded it. And that small, passionate community is what allowed that niche to be profitable. Because, as you cultivate and build a relationship with that community, they will definitely give you their money. So definitely look for niches that have passionate communities that surround it. And I recommend staying within the big four: health, wealth, relationships, and recreation. I covered this in a previous module. You're going to hear about health, wealth, and relationships, the big three. I actually added one, recreation, because there are a few profitable niches that actually don't fit within the three. For example, like I used before, photography and even pigeon racing. Now, the reason why I recommend staying within the big four is because they're so plentiful, and there's just so much room to work in there that you could actually, just within a small sub niche of the health market, you could build a six-figure business just in tiny sub niches of these four. So stay within these, the big four at first, and then once you got a business going, you could experiment with other niches. So I get asked a lot, like, what if I don't know anything, or what if I don't have anything to teach? It's really not a big deal, because what you could do is, even if you don't know anything or you don't have any expertise in everything, if you just pick a niche that you yourself want to learn more about, you could actually become an expert in that niche while building your business. Or you could just simply hire an expert. So I want to go into these two, a little deeper, because I actually have examples for both of them. So, picking a niche that you want to learn more about yourself, what you're going to do is you're going to actually learn, do, and teach as you're learning it yourself. So what I mean by that is, for example, let's say you wanted to enter the green living niche. It's something probably that you have an interest in yourself, but you don't know anything about it. So what you're going to do is, as a consumer of information yourself, is you're going to go through the process and just share your journey as you do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to start learning yourself. And as you learn, you're going to put to work what you're doing. And as you're doing that, you're going to teach it at the same time. And when you do that, you're going to share your journey. So you're positioning yourself as an expert just by learning, doing, and teaching as you go along. I hope that made sense. Now, I have a specific example of this, because at first, when I entered the pigeon racing niche, I didn't know anything about pigeon racing, nothing at all. And basically what I did was I just took information, I read through it, I learned it myself, and then I just summarized it in my own words, and then I packaged that up into a product. So I effectively entered a niche I had no clue about. Just because I was learning, doing, and teaching all at the same time. And then eventually, you will become an expert within that niche. And that's why it's important to, pick a niche that you yourself want to learn more about, because it makes it fun. You're learning about a niche that you enjoy yourself. Or on the other hand, you could just hire an expert. I have two examples of this. A very big example is the Dummies books. Now, the Dummies books, they have books just on pretty much every single niche you could think of. These are just a few examples of it. Now, do you think they're an expert in every one of them? No. Each one of these books have different authors. So basically what they just do is they hire an expert to write a book, and they release the book because they're an info publishing business. Now, on my fourth product in the pigeon racing niche, I did exactly the same thing. What I did was I actually I found an expert within the pigeon racing niche. I found somebody who had success in the pigeon racing niche, who won races and stuff like that. And I just simply asked them, I said, listen, I'll give you $300 if you could just, write me out a report on how you do what you do, how you train your birds, how you became so successful in the pigeon racing sport. And what you find is that most of the time, I offered them $300 and they jump on it because they're talking about something that they love doing and they're getting paid for it. So in that example, he jumped on it. I had an expert write me a product for $300, and what I did was I launched it to my list, and in the very first weekend, I made $3,000 off of that $300 investment. And then ongoing, it's making sales on a daily basis. So for a $300 investment, I had somebody actually, an expert in the field, create a product for me, and I made $3,000 in the first weekend just by launching it to my list. So this is a very effective way to go about it as well. So now what I want to do is I want to actually get into a little bit of show you how to find niche ideas, profitable niche ideas. I actually have a few very good resources that you could actually go into and start researching. First of all, the niche discovery resource number one is magazines.com. Basically, if there's enough interest in the subject that there's a popular magazine based around it, then you have a profitable niche on your hands, because these magazines are not going to waste their time and resources in a niche that isn't profitable. So a good rule of thumb is that if there is a magazine within that niche, within the niche you're looking at, it's a high possibility that is a profitable niche. And that rule did apply to the pigeon racing niche, because there was one very popular pigeon racing magazine. So that was actually my first clue that I should look into it a little more. So definitely go check out magazines.com. Look through all of the different magazines, all of the different themes and topics that they have magazines on, and you'll definitely find some gold mines in there. Now, you can also find great niche ideas just by checking out the paid ads that are inside the magazines, because nobody is going to spend money on advertising on a niche, again, that isn't profitable. So these are very good things to look at to give you some ideas of very high profitable niches. Now, niche discovery resource number two, Amazon bestsellers. You could get very good physical product niche ideas by checking out Amazon bestsellers list. And you could just browse the best-selling products in any category. And this isn't also just for a physical product. I mean, you could just get ideas for how to create digital products within these niches and from the bestsellers list. Also, another great tip is Amazon has this look inside feature for all of their books, and just the sub niches just by looking at the table of contents within those books, you could find a ton of very, very good sub niches that you could enter. So definitely look at the Look Inside feature on a lot of the best-selling books, and look at the table of contents. You're gonna definitely get a ton of ideas from there. Resource number 3, dummies.com. You could go in there and check out their categories. Dummies has literally, they have books on every single subject you could think of. You're going to find a ton of ideas in there. Obviously, if a subject has profitable potential, they definitely made a book about it. So, this is a great place to go do some research. And what most internet marketers don't know is that dummies.com is an excellent place to get niche ideas by browsing the various dummies books. So this is definitely a resource that a lot of people don't use to find niche ideas. Resource number 4, discussion boards, forums, and Yahoo Answers. This is actually very, very good information because you're actually looking at the discussions that are happening, that are going on in your customers' heads. And you can find a lot of real emotional stuff, emotional triggers in different niche markets. So basically, you could go into discussion boards, forums, and Yahoo Answers, and type in something like weight loss, and find out what people are talking about in the various forum threads. So you could actually find out the problems that they're even having. This is also this is also a very good resource when writing copy, and I'm going to share that later on in a different module. But this is a great place to find not only good niche ideas, but very good information on your demographic itself, and definitely pay attention to the problems that your target market is talking about. And get niche ideas from that, because people will pay for solutions to problems, and for pleasures as well. Resource number 5, affiliate networks, like ClickBank, JVZoo, and Pay.com. Each one of them have marketplaces with tons and tons of digital products in all different kinds of niches. You could go in there and browse through there. And what you're going to look at, each one has different metrics, but you're going to look at the gravity, the EPC, or the earnings per click, and you're going to look at the top sellers within those affiliate networks, and that's going to give you a good idea of profitable niches that are already bringing in sales and they're already doing well. So that's really only the tip of the iceberg. What I actually did is I put together a special niche report. It's called the Niche Cash Machine Special Niche Report. It's included with the Niche Cash Machine. And in that report, you're going to get 16 more ninja resources for discovering profitable niches. I just showed you 5. There's actually 16 more that are really, really, really great ways to research different niches. You're also going to get 21 in this report is 21 questions that you need to ask to know if your niche is profitable. So once you get a niche that you're interested in building a business around, there are 21 questions that you need to ask yourself that will tell you if that niche is profitable. And those 21 questions are in that report. And also what I went ahead and did is I actually already found 302 ready to go niches that you could actually go into and just check out. That's also in the report. Again, that's included in the Niche Cash Machine Blueprint. It's probably going to be below this video. So definitely read that report. So homework. This is what I want you to do now. What I want you to do is I want you to go through all these resources. Read the Niche Cash, the special niche report. I want you to find a few niches that you are passionate about or have some kind of interest in, and ones that have a passionate community that surrounds them. So that's your homework. Your homework is to go out and find a few niches that you're interested in building a business around. I want you to also read through the special niche report and use the 21 questions to narrow your search down to one niche. And then once you do that, once you have your niche, you know it's a profitable niche and a niche that you're interested in building a business around, I want you to move on to Module 5. And Module 5 is all about, we're moving through that sales process, and we are going to start building our relationship with our niche market now that you have it. So, fantastic. Definitely do that homework. Get your niche. And once you do that, once you have your niche, I will see you in Module 5.